Hey YouTube, Christo here. Another review ready for you. I actually shot this a couple days ago. Well, I actually shot a review a couple days ago, and I wasn't happy with it, and I just haven't had time to do another one. So obviously you guys know Mandarina Duck Pure Black, and I decided to do this not because it's one of my favorites, but because I was really surprised how many people were watching my Mandarina Duck for Men video. It's actually one of my most viewed reviews that I've done. I was really surprised by that. So I figured, there's probably a good few people out there looking for a review on this. Now, this was created in 2009. And the perfumée is Natalie Lorson, who also did the Mandarina Duck for Men, and she's also done La Ligue Encre Noire for Men, amongst several other things. I actually couldn't find a listing for this, strangely enough. I looked on several sites. I looked in Base Notes and Fragrantica, of course, and there's no listing for it. I found a listing on like a online perfume shop, but it had it listed as aromatic, which was a bit inaccurate, I think. I personally would probably call this Oriental or woody spicy perhaps, but I think Oriental or even Vanilla Oriental would be good. Now the notes as well, I found a lot of conflicting notes, but as best as I can put together, the top includes pepper, bergamot, tangerine. The mid, there is tonka, orange blossom, tiare flower or tiare flower, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a gardenia found in Tahiti. And actually this is the only men's scent in the Fragrantica database that has Tahitian gardenia in it, so not quite too sure what it smells like. Vanilla, sandalwood, and cedar in the base. Now, like I said, a lot of the websites had really conflicting notes, and Base Notes didn't actually even have any notes listed for the base. And Base Notes had tobacco in the mid, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, let's see, to me, predominant notes I would say are vanilla. Definitely vanilla is the strongest to me. Tonka, and I think, yeah, you can definitely pick up the orange flower in there as well. Now, if you guys have watched any of my reviews, I've got the dry down on this side, and I'll give you guys an opening spray and analyze what it smells like. So, right at the opening, you can definitely tell tangerine, kind of a sweet citrus, definitely orange citrus. It's actually very, very synthetic in the opening, almost to the point where it smells like burnt rubber or something, I get. But it does fade away very, very, very quickly. You do definitely start to smell the vanilla coming out, the tonka coming out. It starts to get a little creamier, a little smoother, less harsh. The citrus kind of starts to, fade away. And then in the dry down, it's just like pure tonka and vanilla. Like just straight up. You can definitely tell there's a few things in the background, but it's just tonka and vanilla just straight out in the dry down. It's pretty nice actually. Now, let's see, I wouldn't really call this black, let alone pure black. I find that title a bit misleading. To me, black is like kind of sexy and mysterious and dark and stuff, whereas I find this kind of sweet and I wouldn't say youthful, but young, more young-spirited. I like it, but I think the black is a bit misleading personally, but that's my opinion. Also, I should say this does take quite a long time to develop. It does go very slowly, but it is worth waiting for. Okay, this makes me think of Asian spices, being in an Asian market and just smelling like all the spices in, you know, like the burlap sacks, you know, like you get this very typical romantic image of like an Asian spice market. Very sweet, very, very sweet, kind of a creamy, powdery feel to it. I don't honestly think it smells a lot like some of the things I've heard it compared to. I've heard people compare this to Lamal. I've heard people compare this to Hypnos. I've heard people compare this to 1 Million. And I don't think it smells anything like any of those. You know, there are notes that are similar. The vanilla, obviously with Lamal and Hypnos for that, but I find this to smell completely different than the other 2 or 3 that I mentioned. Now, prices for this. This is still fairly new, and from what I can tell, it had a really strange release. What would you say? They released it in certain areas before they released them in other, which I know is often common, but they released them in like Europe and the Middle East first, and then they released them in Asia, and then released them in North America, which is kind of a strange path to take. So this is actually can be quite expensive if you buy this online. I got a really good price. I paid about $35 for my 100 ml, but I saw prices ranging from $30 for a 50 ml up to $60 for a 50 ml. And back when it was first released in 2009, I actually saw these selling for like $85 on eBay. The prices have gone down, but they still can be pretty expensive. Shop around. I think you can get good prices on it. Bottles, as far as I can tell, are the standard 1500, this being 50 ml. The 100 ml actually looks bigger, but it's about the same height, but it's skinny. It kind of gives this illusion that it's actually bigger, but it's not. So be careful if you're looking at pictures online and stuff, if you're ordering online. Now, longevity. Where does this come in with longevity? Well, it's spicy. It's got vanilla, it's got tonka, so yeah, it's got pretty good longevity. I get above average. I'm gonna say 6 to 8 hours on this, maybe more if you're in cooler weather. You'll probably get a couple more hours out of it. Projection, again, you know, spices, vanilla, they project well, above average. I'm gonna say you know, you're gonna get a pretty good scent cloud off yourself for probably 3 to 4 hours, opposed to the average, you know, 2 or 3 hours. You know, you'll probably leave a pretty good amount of silage as well with this. It is pretty good for those 2 departments. Occasion, as much as I don't want to call this black, I think it is good for nighttime. Just the kind of like sweet spices and vanilla, I think, are much better for nighttime. I think you would definitely be able to wear this for a nice dinner or a date, more formal date or dinner for that, but I think this would do it. Work, maybe a little too sweet for work, and it is kind of strong, so I don't know. I would say be careful, maybe go a little lighter on the sprayer if you're wearing it to work. I don't think this would be good for like really formal occasions like you know, meetings or, you know, black tie events or things. I don't think this would be too good for that. It is a little bit too sweet, I think. Age groups, I'm gonna say for this one, I'm gonna go early 20s to late 20s. It is very sweet, like I've said, and it has a lot of vanilla in it, which tend to, you know, attract the younger crowd. But I think it's, you know, it's well done enough to be appreciated by, you know, someone in their late 20s, maybe early 30s. I'm 30 now, and I still like this, but I don't wear it much. It's just a little bit too sweet for me. And I have to say, it is more, it is a little more classy and sophisticated than most scents that are the sweet. I definitely will give it credit for that. So yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, early 20s, late 20s. What's good about this? Well, it lasts long. It's got good projection, good longevity, and if you're into vanilla, if you're into tonka, like chocolate kind of feeling, I think you might be interested in this. It is a very unique smell, like vanilla and tonka with a hint of orange blossom. I think it's quite nice. What else? It's good for the age group. I think if you're in that age group, I think you will really enjoy this. If you're into sweet scents and you're kind of in your 20s, I think this would probably be really, really, really good for you. And also, it's not common. It's still pretty hard to find. It might start, flowing into parts of North America, but for the moment, I think it's pretty off the beaten track for now. Bad. What's bad about this? Well, yeah, my big beef with it is how sweet it is. When I was younger, when I first bought this like 2 years ago, I really, really enjoyed this a lot. I loved it. But now that I'm a little older, a little more mature, I still like it, but I don't wear it that much. It's just a bit too sweet. The price might not be very good. Like I mentioned, it is kind of expensive, especially if you're in certain parts of the world. I do get a bit of a synthetic vibe from this. It's not overwhelmingly synthetic, but if you're a bit snobby, you might, yeah, it's too synthetic for me. Yeah, I don't have anything against things that are synthetic, to a point. Recommended. If you like vanilla, if you like tonka, definitely try this. Definitely try this. If you like Le Male, if you like 1 Million, but you want something a little more different, something that's not done to death, I think this could be a really good substitute for it. So there you go, guys. There's my review for Mandarina Duck Pure Black. I actually didn't get many comments on my Mandarina Duck for Men, but I got a lot of views. I was kind of surprised by that as well. I really want to know people out there who've tried Mandarina Duck, this one or for Men. Leave comments. I'd really like to hear what you guys think of them. I like both of them quite a lot. They're both unique, and they're both just quite different from most things I've tried that kind of fit in to their categories. I'd really like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? So anyways, there you go, Mandarina Duck Pure Black. I got another review coming straight up right there, so check for that soon. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.